So welcome to my channel Rekha Datta English Classes. As you know guys, today again I have come with some English speaking tips which can prove good for you and which can enhance your capabilities of speaking in English. As you know guys, these tips or strategies have proved good for me and it is very much tested and verified by me. I really have got a lot of benefit while using these tips for me, and that's why I really want to tell you that I never write any script before recording my videos, because I think that it's very practical thing. I don't need to make any script for it, because everybody knows that if you are putting your efforts into something, really you are going to get the results. I mean good results. So one of the methods which has really proved good for me, and still I'm using this method, I really want to share with you guys. What you need to do is to watch some videos with some kind of stories. Okay, suppose you're watching few things, and before I come up with my strategy, with my tips for speaking good English. So before I start with my video, I really want to give you information about some very good videos which has proved and which has really given me a lot of insight into language. While watching those videos, I came to know daily conversation, and I have adopted those conversation, and wherever I find that something is really giving me a nice insight into the language, I try to adopt those things. So I would like to tell you the name of those small videos, and the name of the channel is Mosi Studio, one of them, and other is Dramatize Me and Darman. Actually these videos are not Indian videos, but still while watching those videos you feel that you are getting very good command over the language while watching those things, because when you watch those things you find that you are getting the hang of the language by knowing the daily conversation, how to use English in your daily life. Apart from those things, there you can find that a lot of other videos are also available to give you an insight into the language and telling you a lot about the vocabulary and phrases and everything. So welcome to my channel Rekha Datta English Classes. As you know guys, I also make videos on spoken English, and today I am going to tell you certain methods for speaking in English. But today in this video I am going to select only one method which has really proved good for me, and I have adopted that method for speaking in English. And believe me one thing, that I never record my video with a script. I mean, whenever I need to record my video, I never spend time in writing a script and anything, because I feel that any method which can be beneficial for me, it is going to be beneficial for you too. So today I'm coming up with a strategy which I have adopted, and it's really proved good for me. So there are small videos on YouTube which I prefer to watch, of 8 minutes or 5 minutes or 3 minutes. So one of them is Mosi Studio. I don't know whether you have watched that Mosi Studio. So when you watch this video, you come to know that a very small stories are explained in that video, with a problem of relationship, or sometimes husband cheating on his wife, or wife is cheating on her husband. So they come up with lots of stories, and sometimes domestic violence story, or sometimes some relationship problems, or sometimes So one of the very good method which I'm gonna tell you today, that when you watch some good story, I'm not telling you to watch any news or any speeches or any podcast regarding something. Instead of that, you can watch small videos with a story in it. So when you are watching some small videos with a story, so the impression of it remains everlasting in your mind. so impression of its remain for a longer period, and you can repeat the story. So today I'm telling you that, you know, what happened, that so today in Sunday morning I got some time to watch that video, and after watching that video I kept on repeating in my mind the whole scenario, the whole story. So I would like to tell you the story. So in this way you can also repeat the story in your mind. If you find nobody is there to listen to your story, it's okay, you don't need to tell anybody except you. So you can repeat the story, and that you can do while walking, or maybe you are sitting, you know, don't have anything to do and you are sitting, you are listening your own story. Or maybe sometimes in your working place too, when you find that nobody's around and you wanna have a very good practice of English, so you can repeat in your mind, and in this way you find that you are able to narrate the whole story in your own language, in your own words and sentences which you have been using till now. One thing I really want to tell you before I come with the story: always whenever you are repeating some story, try to repeat in present indefinite tense or in simple present, you know. So when you are repeating the story in simple present, you know, what happens that you are using only one tense and you are narrating the whole story in your mind and you are getting the hang of the language. So let me tell you what happened. So I was talking about this elderly lady. So she is actually engaging in keeping her room clean and doing a lot of things, you know, managing her household stuff. And I find that one more guy is there, and this guy is taking care of everything and cleaning the floor or managing the things, you know, keeping in the right place. And this lady is giving direction to this guy, you know, telling him keep the things in the certain places and all. And she also tells this guy, let's keep a name of that guy, the name is Robert. Okay, so this elderly lady tells Robert that today is the day when her own son will come. So in another scene we see this guy Robert, you know, he's talking to somebody on phone and he's telling somebody that he's very serious about the girl named Gracie. Okay, and he has been working for that girl because since this girl, nobody's there to take care of that girl, and so Robert is working here in this house collecting money for her education. I mean, the Gracie is the girlfriend of Robert, and since she has no parents, so here Robert take care of Gracie by helping her out in her education and giving money to her, and both of them decided to marry, you know, very soon. So as we know, the story goes in this way, and the scene opens and we see that this guy, let's keep his name Tom. Okay, so Tom is the son of this elderly lady, and he enters the room with his girlfriend Gracie, the same girl whom Robert has been spending a lot of money on her, and Robert has been helping out this girl. So so Tom comes inside the house and introduces his mother, telling that this is Gracie and she's my girlfriend, and all the things about Gracie and all. But Robert is also there, he's listening everything, and when he sees that Gracie is there, you know, he just, you know, taken aback, and he wanted to ask Gracie that why you have come here since you are my girlfriend. So how you are saying that you are Tom's girlfriend? So he's taken aback, surprised, and wanted to say something, but he is not able to say because Tom is very busy in talking and all. So he says to Gracie, oh Gracie, why you are here? So here we see that I can use the dialogue in between too. It's not necessary to depict the whole story in present indefinite tense or present simple present. I can come up with the dialogue too. So, or you can depict the whole, explain the whole story in indirect way too. It depends on you. So what happens that he asked Gracie that what is the reason that she has come over here. So Gracie denies to recognize Robert, saying that I don't know who are you. So the whole situation is very confusing. Here we see that Gracie is totally not identifying this guy Robert, and Robert is insisting on saying that she's the only girl whom he has been helping for a long period. And Tom is also taken aback, because he finds Gracie in another city, and both of them, came closer, and both of them are now in a relationship. This elderly lady also very confused, she says, young lady, tell me frankly that what is the truth. So Gracie says, very seriously that she doesn't know this guy and she only knows Tom. So here the first scene ends, and in second scene we see that Gracie comes secretly to Robert's room. Since Robert is a person who works in that house, actually he's a servant. So Gracie comes secretly to him, telling that Robert, sorry for whatever I did in front of these people, but the thing is that I have started my new life. She says that she has started, you can say the whole story in indirect way also, that she has started her new life and she doesn't want any interruption, because she finds Tom the perfect guy she has been looking for. And she also tells Robert that she's very grateful to him for giving and taking the expenses of her education, but she has decided to marry Tom only. Robert cries and begs in front of her, saying that please don't do this, because they have decided to marry very soon. But what is happening, So here we see that this lady, she doesn't listen to Robert and she goes away in Tom's room. In the next scene, we see that Tom comes running and holding her hand tightly, pulling her hand tightly and putting allegation on her that she's been cheating on him, and actually she's in relationship with Robert, and the whole things comes into the light. And this elderly lady is sitting over there confusing, looking around, and asks this young lady to tell the truth, and telling that tell me that what has happened. Now Gracie cries and tells everything, that when she finds Tom affluent person and wealthy person, she turned towards him instead of turning towards Robert. And Robert is the person who has been helping her out and completing her education and everything. But here we find that Tom is so aggressive and he's so furious and so angry on her that he pushes her out of the door and locks the door. And he also throws her all things outside, her luggage, etc. And in next scene we see that this Gracie girl, she goes to Robert's house, and when she cries a lot, telling her, confessing her guilt, that sorry, I did whatever I did, it was not it was not acceptable. I know that you are going to forgive me and I want to come back to your life. So the scene is very dramatic. At the end we see that even this guy Robert is seeing someone else, so he denies clearly, saying that sorry, I've been seeing someone else lately, so that's why I can't want you to come back to my life. So this is the story. So guys, why I am telling you this story? I am telling you this story because this is a very good method of repeating the whole stuff. When you do this, you find that automatically you are pushing the whole story, bringing the whole story into your mind, but you are not putting a lot of effort to bring those story again into the light, because there in the background of the mind the whole story is there, only you are efforting much to bring it into light by adding more words and phrases and and sentences into it. And when you are doing it you are not line to line, you are not telling the story, you are thinking about the situation, and according to that you are making your sentences. And this is very natural way of depicting the stories and coming up with the stories. When you're doing it, believe me guys, that you are getting a very good hang of the language. And I always do it. Whenever I watch something, I do it. And for that, I don't need to sit extra somewhere and giving a lot of emphasis on knowing the whole thing. But you know, whenever I have time, it depends. Like sometimes when I'm walking, when I'm in my college doing nothing, in my extra periods, I close my eyes and I sit like this and I think about the story, you know. The whole events, the whole thing goes in my mind, and I try to repeat the whole thing. I know it's not, it's rather embarrassing to repeat the whole things loudly in front of other people, but don't let them know what you are doing, you know. You can record the story when you are alone, not sitting in front of other people, or you can repeat in your mind, or you can repeat when you are sitting alone somewhere. So this is the method which I adopt for speaking in English, and I want you to adopt. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Again, I'll come with some very good practical tips for speaking in English. Thank you so much.